I wanted to ask you guys as well about one of the news stories we were just speaking about, Rice to Arsenal. Look, it's well documented that Arsenal are very interested in him. He's going to have decisions to make after the Europa League final. I'm sure if he is going anywhere, he'll want to win that just to give this legacy back to West Ham, because that relationship between him and those fans has been marvellous. I imagine they're absolutely devastated he wants to go, but a big number of them probably think, you know what, but we want to see him go and do well. Is Arsenal the place for him, Ali?
It's a funny one. I'm interested to hear Dean's views as well, because over the weekend and over the season, if I'm Declan Rice and I'm weighing up my options, I am probably thinking I'd rather go to Arsenal than Manchester United. I looked at Manchester United at the weekend, and I know they've won the League Cup, but they look as though they've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 players behind Manchester City. I still think Arsenal are well behind Manchester City, but I think they've got the potential to get nearer to them quicker.
Dino?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I'm Arsenal, I'd be thinking he's definitely going to improve our team. If you put him in Arsenal's team, and Arsenal are probably the nearest to Man City at the moment, but Liverpool, I'm interested to see what they're going to do, because he'd get in their team as well. He'd definitely make their team better. They need a couple of players, and they need one exactly like him, of that ilk.
But if they couldn't spend the money on the likes of Jude Bellingham, for example, do you think that Declan Rice might be too expensive for them too?
I'll agree with what Paul Merson just said about, if you're going to go to the party, you've got to be eating at the table with the big boys. Liverpool need to do the same. If Liverpool want to win the Premier League and win the Champions League, you've got to spend money.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. You can't take shortcuts.
Yeah. More movement as well with Spurs, because 03717 223344 if you want to give us a call. We've had that actually this morning. We're taking your calls on whether or not Harry Kane might be tempted to go to Real Madrid if they get the right money for him, whether or not Daniel Levy will actually let that happen. There is going to be a space for a goal scorer, because Benzema's going to go off to Saudi Arabia, cash in, I imagine, there. Would he want to stay and break Shearer's record in the Premier League? Or do you think he could be tempted? Well, Kev is a Spurs fan. Hello, Kev, you all right?
Morning, Kev.
Morning, Kev.
Morning, Laura. Morning, Ali.
Hello.
Morning, Dean. Love the show. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh,
Great,
thanks
mate.
for coming on. Kev, there's loads about Spurs this morning, and Postecoglou potentially being your next manager as well. Why don't we start with Harry Kane? What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, well, first of all, incredibly proud to have Harry Kane as one of our own. He's made the most of his ability with hard work and dedication, and it's absolute credit to us and the team. I think now's probably the time. I think now's the time because, we've got a new manager coming in, a reset. I think he'll probably leave next summer anyway. And Real Madrid would be as a Spurs fan, I'd be so proud to see him go to Real Madrid and do well there. And, I think he deserves the best from his career from what he's done. So I do feel now's the time.
Look what Gareth Bale did when he went there. It was so successful, so many trophies. Obviously didn't end great between them, but I don't know. I don't think that'll happen to Harry Kane if he goes. What about Ange Postecoglou?
Yeah, interesting. So, to be honest, and sorry, I don't watch much Scottish Premier League football, so I don't know much about him. However, let's give this guy a chance. I think what we need at Tottenham is we need someone to look at the long term. The problem with Conte and Mourinho is we need someone to come in, look at our youth system, see what we've got. We've got so many players out on loan. They can't all be terrible. Bring them back, see who wants to be at the club. I think this is bigger than Harry Kane leaving. I think see what loan players are out, see what they like, see who we can fit in. And then, and I think the expectation of Spurs fans needs to be better, right? So if the expectation is we need to qualify the Champions League, well, I'm not sure we're there. Let's build a team, let's build a squad and look over the next 2-3 years. And, I'm not against Postecoglou. I don't know if I said it properly, but if he's the right man, let's go for it and let's support him.
Kev, brilliant call.
Good
Thank
man,
you
Kev.
so much.
Well done.
Kev's the Spurs fan. Ali, can I just ask you, because
Yes.
I've seen a lot of this as well, and I'm the same as Kev. I don't watch a lot of football in Scotland, but I've seen a lot of people saying his style of football is really attractive. Tell me a bit about it.
Well, I'll tell you what he has done. His recruitment's been excellent, and he's dipped into a market that he was very knowledgeable in, and that was the 2 or 3 Japanese players that he's brought over. Kyogo in particular has done exceptionally well, scored goals, Hitati in the middle of the park, and Maeda is the one that played in the World Cup. So he's recruited very, very well. He plays with 2 wide men who have been excellent. Jota on one side has probably been one of the better players in the country this year. So they do have a go If you're a Celtic fan, you wouldn't have any complaints about the style of football that you're watching. And I just think he handles himself very, very well. The one thing that I would say, and I'm not sure he would agree with me, I think probably, I wouldn't say it's a last throw of the dice for him, but age-wise, it's probably, if he does harbour aspirations of managing in the top flight, I would think it'd need to be certainly now or next season.
I suppose as a manager that's coming into Spurs, the first question you're going to be asking Daniel Levy is, will Harry Kane be one of my players next season or not? So Spurs fans, 03717 22 334.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.